It would appear we are good.
And action, off we go. Welcome to Here's Your Freaking Podcast with the Jason Lee and Clark Show. Thank you, as always, for joining us and taking some time out of your day. Don't forget you can chime in anytime if you're live streaming this. If not, well, it's not going to do much for you. What do we got coming up on the podcast today? We'll talk about why weight training is making you soft in the bedroom.
It's supposed to be making me hard.
We'll talk about how kids today, they're avoiding the pornography. We'll talk about drawing big genitals in the sky. We'll talk about a fart salad, some new STDs, and then we have the craziest substitute teacher we've seen in a long time. Called herself a $1 million prostitute. But let's start right here. You're a young man, you're growing up. Just you and the boys, right, hanging out. Sometimes you get a little wrestling competition going on, maybe a little slap fight. Maybe if you're in the pool, you have a game of chicken to see who's better, who's harder, who's faster.
Oh, yeah.
Did you ever think about racing your sperm?
With the boys?
With the boys.
No. Although, what bragging rights? My comes the fastest.
We talked about this many months ago, that they were considering putting something like this together, and it looks like they've now officially put it together. The 2026 Sperm Racing World Cup is on.
All right.
Science-based competitive sport, they say. It will see 128 semen samples, each one representing a different country, so it's like the Olympics. They will face off on a microscopic racetrack somewhere in San Francisco. These are tech bros, by the way. So it'll be, Silicon Valley. They haven't disclosed the location yet. It is the Kentucky Derby of Creative Juice. They call it sperm racing. It was developed by a bunch of tech entrepreneurs.
With nothing better to do.
Right. They're like, geez, man, if I could just do something, what can we do with this? This seems like there's money here. There's a competition. There's something we could do with this.
White gold.
Entrants are sent a kit, so you don't even have to show up. You send a kit. It's kind of like, what's the stool sample thing for cancer?
The Cologuard.
You're sent a kit. You will provide your semen sample, which will be mailed to California and then processed through advanced lab techniques.
Hey, correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought, like, outside of your body, sperm die pretty quickly.
I thought when they hit the air, they did.
Yeah.
Apparently, maybe this is like a fleshlight sort of a situation where you just kind of cap it and you put it in the mail, and then there it goes. One of the it says thorough lab, advanced lab techniques. One of the things they do is it's called sperm washing. I don't know what that is.
Take it down to scrub behind its ears real good.
These steps isolate and prepare the most viable sperms for racing. Then under a microscope, the competitors will race each other along a customized microfluid track. How far do you think the sperms have to race before we have ourselves a winner?
I don't know, like a foot? How far can a sperm even go?
Well, it depends. What's your sperm been doing? Has he been working out? Has he been training? Does he jog? What does he do? Does he fucking smoke? What does he do?
Just ultra-processed foods and cigarillos all day, every day.
The sperm will travel a straight distance of 400 microns, which is about 0.02 inches.
All right, so it's a sprint. It's like a 100-meter dash.
It's approximately the size of a grain of salt. All the while, they do say that a controlled microcurrent flows through the channel, creating resistance. Oh, making it harder. So they're like running with like a pack on their back. They're running with that bungee thing. They're pushing each racer to the limits.
Wait, you said a grain of salt?
Yep.
I was always told that the sperm was the smallest part of the smallest cell in the human body that you could see with the naked eye.
Okay.
But you could see a grain of salt with a naked eye. So doesn't it just go like from here to here, here to here?
They say the time for the sperm to get from one side of the grain of salt to the other can range from several seconds to over 40 minutes. We call him Simple Jack.
I was going to say, what is he doing? Taking a long way?
Depending on whether it says whether the spunk gets stuck on an obstacle or not.
Oh,
Apparently,
keeps banging his head into the wall.
There be some obstacles along the way. If you're into weight training, bad news. It's making you softer in the bedroom, they find. Lifting weights will strengthen your muscles, but unfortunately, it'll also loosen up your wiener. They say be careful because pelvic floor muscles keep your core stable while you're lifting weights, right? I mean, think about, what are you clenching when you're lifting weights?
Yeah, your stomach, your pelvic floor.
Right. Unfortunately, if you overwork that area with weights, you could get chronic tightness that leads to sexual dysfunction. You could get ED from it. Trainers say that if muscles in the pelvic floor are too tight, they restrict blood flow and they compress the nerves that are the keys to keeping you in top shape while you're in bed working. They say when working out, men should be aware of overdoing it, especially when it comes to squats, deadlifts, or ab-focused routines.
You know what? Just to be safe, I'll skip all of those.
They also say that cyclists need to be careful after a long riding session. Oh, we've all put the time in on the bike seat, right? We know what hurts the next day.
Mm-hmm.
It's not your butthole. It's a little forward from that.
It's the in-between.
You're like, I can't sit down. It hurts so bad. So think about that the next time you're at the gym. Porn, obviously more mainstream than it's ever been before. They asked the question, should porn be so easy to access? The answer for those of us that had to forage through the woods for it would answer, yeah, it should.
Yep.
It's very nice to have on demand like this.
You know how hard it is to go through that struggle as a kid, the magazines and the forts and the stealing of the porno and the rumors, only to grow up, become an adult, and then move to a state that all of a sudden had it and took it away.
New research from the Survey Center on American Life appears to show a majority of men under the age of 25 think porn should be easy?
Mm-hmm.
You would think, but no. It's now being referred to as, the men's purity movement.
Oh, these guys.
Hey, you have to make it sound so pussy. Give it a
purity.
Hey, spunk it up a little bit. Make sparkle it up a little bit. Put some.
Hey, does anybody know anybody cool who ever wore a purity ring?
No,
fucking nerds.
According to research, 2/3 of college-age men think adult content is way too easy to access. Who are the 1/3 of people who are like, you know what? It is a little tougher to come by than it used to be. It's not. So they're starting conversations about porn, which is good in young men's relationship with it and how a porn habit can manifest itself into other aspects of your life, including relationships and your sexuality, among the topics that are coming up in the conversation.
Hey, dude, remember, we had a guy earlier this week text the show and said he was on day 2 of no porno.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Today might be day 3 for him, I hope.
Yeah. They say among the topics that are coming up when you talk about pornography, embarrassment, shame, how women are viewed by men in the anti-porn movement, and the loss of control. I don't even know. The loss of control they feel can come from watching porn. I don't know I don't know what the loss of control is. Oh, you just can't stop looking at it? I can't stop.
Dude, have you ever heard or read the story from people who are serious porn addicts? They're like, I look at them, they'll be at a kid's sporting event sitting there just watching porno on their phone, like they can't stop.
No, but one of my daughters was a lifeguard at a community pool, and she coached swimming lessons, and she said, yeah, we have a problem with the dad. And she was like young. She was like 15 at the time. And somebody else from the athletic club said, well, you need to go tell him. She's like, I'm 15. I'm not telling a grown man to put the porn down. That seems to be a grown-up's job.
So she have to find an adult to go do it?
So they had to have an adult say, hey, man, your kids are in the pool learning how to swim. Can you just stop with the pornography for a little while? Just save it for the car for the drive home or something.
Man, as far as the most inappropriate times to watch porno, that's got to be near the tip-top of the mountain while your kids are doing an activity and you're there around other people.
Yeah, she was funny. She's just like, I am a child. I cannot go tell a man to put the porno down. That seems like something that a responsible adult should do. And they said, oh, yeah, you have a good point. Yeah,
hey,
we'll get somebody on that.
Those people are important, though, because as long as I have those people to look down on, I'm fine. I'm like, hey, I'm not at some sporting event watching porno. Or like the homeless guy who uses the library for this connection. He's like, oh, hot diggity.
The Finnish Air Force has confirmed that 2 pilots on a training flight are being disciplined for using their flight patterns to create penises in the sky. The Flight Trader Tracking Service shows at least 4 planes followed flight patterns that were created to be in the shape of penises. Yes, penises. They confirmed that the pilots are being disciplined for their actions. The Air Force requires pilots to follow good manners and rules of conduct. If they deviate from these, it will be the responsibility for them to be punished in an appropriate manner. The spokesperson said there was no danger to other air traffic during the exercise.
Oh, good.
So you're looking at the flight path, and you're looking at it, you're like, man, it looks a lot like that's a dong. That is definitely a dong.
You guys watching porno while your kids are doing things is right up there with just watching the guys who watch porn at the office.
No, it's worse than that.
That's right below Chuck E. Cheese for bad places to watch the hub. See, the office is one thing because there are other adults there, but if you're somewhere where there are families, you're like, God,
I'm gonna need you to spend time with the kids. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I love spending time with my kids. All right, well, take them to swim lessons and cheer them on. Okay, yeah,
can do.
What is a fart salad? They call it fiber maxing. It's rolling out on social media. Some people are now taking things to a new level by using fiber maxing.
You and I were at a country club, and I got a pube salad once.
Yeah, they say they've created something called a fart salad. It is a fiber-heavy pasta and vegetable salad.
So just like broccoli and that whole wheat pasta.
Here's how you make a fart salad. You use a base of raw packaged coleslaw mix, and then you add protein pasta, pepperoni, broccoli, and Brussels sprouts. Okay, so everything that smells like farts.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. They say that'll get things moving. The result, obviously, results in farting and bowel movements.
So why do you want this? It's supposed to help your digestion?
Your fiber maxing. Whatever that means. Unlike other dopey social media trends, they say health experts are actually on board with this one. They say, yeah, fart salad's good for you, man. You don't want to jump right in and overdose on the stuff. To avoid total disaster, they recommend ramping up the portions of your fart salad. Also, drink twice as much water as you think you need. Eventually, your body will adapt to all of this fiber, and it'll start handling your fart salads like a champ. That's a tough one to sell.
Cubicle Nate does say that at his job, we have an issue where truckers are not paying attention on the site here because of them. They're sitting there watching pornography, and so many truckers do not wear pants.
Okay, there's a lot to take in there. So what do you mean truckers? Like 18-wheeled trucker? Like all over the road guys?
Yeah. So he works at a dairy operation, which means those big milk hauling trucks, one, you're up high enough, nobody knows if you're wearing pants, nobody can see.
No.
And you've got the porno going.
And the fact that you don't have pants on leads me to believe that you're occupied-o. Weird.
Hey, it's good work if you can get it.
Dude, you're gone for like 2 weeks and you get home and your wife can't figure out why you're sexually exhausted. Look, I've been beating my meat for 14 days. Wow.
You guys, that makes me 10 times more scared riding my motorcycle around big rigs.
Boy, howdy. I always feel like they're looking down on me, but maybe I need to start looking up on them.
Don't be looking down here to get your jollies. I know they're up there, big fella. He also said some of them have a smell, if you know what I mean.
The truckers or the truck?
The truck the trucker smells like cum. Guy came in, just fucking reeked of old semen.
There's a new STD that's creeping across the country. One doctor is talking about this new STD on TikTok, making its way around the country. What's interesting about this one, she says, it isn't a virus or a bacteria. Oh, this is scary as shit.
What is it, better or worse?
It's a fungus. Now, if you watch, what is it, The Last of Us? Well, we see what direction everything's headed. It's called TMVII. It's an STD. That is an aggressive form of ringworm. You got this from who now? The aggressive form of ringworm turns up as a painful, itchy, inflamed rash. It is also often misdiagnosed as eczema, razor burn, or just irritated skin.
What would you rather have from admit to having chlamydia or ringworm?
The clap at least makes it sound cute.
Mm-hmm.
Anything you attach ringworm to is fucked. They say typical remedies, over-the-counter creams being prescribed, but those aren't actually treating it. What's really needed is a skin biopsy to confirm and treat it. Typically, the little beast shows up on any part of the body that might encounter sexual activity. That's your genitals, your thighs, your face, or your buttocks, if you're into that sort of a thing.
Boys, I'm a diesel mechanic, and I can attest that truck drivers are nasty. There are holes in the floor for potty and massive porno addictions.
You've got to be kidding me.
If your porno addiction is bad enough that somebody knows it just by looking inside of your big rig, we got a porno guy here.
If they can sniff it out like a drug dog, yeah, you're doing work.
Wow.
That's crazy. I like this story. It's just funny. It's probably not true, but it's cute nonetheless. This dude tells this story online. He saw an attractive girl at a bar, and he decided, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to send that girl a drink.
All right.
And he said he saw a beautiful woman across the way, so he sacked up, which is something that most of us wouldn't do. He sacked up, and then he ordered her a drink with with a note, and the note said, single and ready to mingle. He admitted, not the cleverest opening.
I was going to say.
But he said he gave it a go nonetheless. He was proud of himself for actually putting himself out there and doing it. So he waited. Finally, he got a reply. He got a new note. He got a note from her. The note said, I'm sorry, I don't date a man who doesn't have a nice car. I don't date a man who doesn't have $1 million in the bank. And I don't date a man who isn't 7 inches. Hey,
she can tell all that just by looking at him?
Hey, I'm like 5'10".
Yeah.
I'm perfectly okay with that.
Yeah.
A lesser man would have shrugged it off, but not this guy. His name is Nate. Nate said, so then I thought, and then I wrote. He whipped out a return note. It says to this young lady, well, I don't have a nice car. I have several. I don't have $1 million in the bank. I have millions of dollars in the bank. And I don't care how beautiful you are. I'm not cutting 3 inches off for anybody.
Please tell me they're living happily ever after.
That's the kind of shit that social media needs to be.
Right,
that's what it needs to be. All right, here, we'll wrap on this story just because it's a fun story. It takes you back to childhood. Anytime a substitute teacher walked into the classroom and you said, oh, man, today's practically a vacation day. I know what this feels like.
You always got 1 or 2 substitute teachers. Either they were 10 million years old or they were like just barely out of college. Like brand spanking new, haven't found a full-time teaching job yet.
You know, you're not that much older than we are. And that makes it feel like you have a license to drive because they're closer in age to you. A substitute teacher, this is obviously Florida because where else would something like this happen? A substitute high school teacher was arrested last Monday after she was caught acting erratically in class. Now, typically when we have a story like this from Florida, it's either the booze or the bath salts.
Right.
The incident happened at 10:20 a.m. Upon arrival to the classroom, a police officer found the substitute teacher, Angela Faith Jordan, yelling incoherently, stating, this is what the cop overhears, they should put her in prison for life.
Wow. All right. It's pretty serious.
Apparently, before the officer arrived, it was reported that she was yelling, slamming her hands on the desk, making inappropriate statements about students, and that's how you know it's a good day. She was twerking in the classroom.
What kind of inappropriate statement she's saying about the students?
Like,
you're a bitch.
Okay. This included telling students that she would engage in sexual activity with them.
Oh, she's like, I'd fuck you. I wouldn't fuck you. I'd fuck you twice.
She also referred to herself as a quote-unquote $1 million prostitute.
Oh.
The assistant principal went into the classroom and instructed the woman to gather her belongings. It was time for her to go. First, she refused, stating that she did not want to be tased. She continued to refuse to leave the property, prompting the police officer to restrain her and escort her to the front office.
Well, hey, they honored her request and didn't tase her.
They did speak with a victim from the classroom who claimed that the substitute teacher had hit her. She said as the bell rang and students began to exit, Blank stated that she was among the last to leave when Miss Jordan yelled at her, called her a derogatory name, and then placed her hands on child's head and the back of the neck before moving her hand towards the child's throat. She now faces misdemeanor charges of disorderly conduct, simple battery, and 2 counts of disruption of a school function.
Damn.
Try to choke her out. Okay.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Right. I got you.
There you go. That's the podcast for this week. As always, thank you for being a part of it. And don't forget, you can stay up to date all things JLNK anytime by heading over to jlnkshow.com. We will see you next Tuesday.